My name is Pierre Walters, and I'm going to welcome you to Life Knocks number 3. The point of these video blogs, these Life Knocks video blogs, is to help encourage and inspire you to get out there and to live your dream. One of the most ridiculous things that I have encountered in my life is this whole idea of you got to make a living. You got to make a living. You know, you got to do whatever you got to do so you can make a living. You know, I remember when I was graduating from high school in 2004, I received a scholarship to attend the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and it was a one-year scholarship, and I was so excited. Now, I had a lot of people telling me, Pierre, don't go to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts right after high school because you need to go to a regular college, like a university or something, and major in something, get a bachelor's degree in something, be well equipped for the world. You know, I had a lot of people telling me that you got to have a backup plan. You got to have a backup plan because if what you want to do doesn't work out, you got to have something to fall back on. Well, I'm sure many of you guys have heard this, but I'm going to tell you from my own perspective, from my own life. I believe that if you have a backup plan for your dream, that means that your dream isn't important enough. That means that your dream isn't good enough. You do not believe in your own dream to the point where you don't even need a backup plan. And you know, that's what I did. I believed in myself as an actor. I believed that I was going to succeed as an actor and I was going to make everybody, you know, who didn't believe in me, turn their face because I was going to show them that guess what? I have what it takes. So I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I did not go to a regular university. I did not get a regular degree. In fact, when I was at the Academy of Dramatic Arts, some really interesting things happened to me there. And the most important thing was that I began to become disillusioned with what I perceived was what I wanted to do. You know, I had really wanted to go there. I really wanted to become an actor. I felt that that was my calling. But when I was there and I discovered the kind of lifestyle that these actors pretty much had to adopt in order to be successful in that market, I was really turned off. I mean, it was a lifestyle that did not meet my standards, basically, my quality standards, and my standards for myself as a human being. I'm not going to go into detail with what I mean by that, but I'm just going to let you know that, acting, just look at Hollywood. Just look at Hollywood. Look at the stars and the celebrities and all the different relationships they're having and how many of them can't even hold a marriage for a year or two. You know, just look at that lifestyle. Now imagine that sort of replicated in the smaller markets all across the country. I really didn't want to have a part in that. That was not what I wanted to do. But what was amazing though was I began to discover more about what I do like, what I do love, and I realized, I love acting, but what I love most about acting is storytelling. I really love storytelling. I wasn't quite at the point yet where I could say that I wanted to be a director, but I was definitely at the point where I could say that, you know what, I think I want a little bit more than just acting. It came to the it came to the point in one time in acting conservatory where my director, my teacher, said to my class, okay, you're going to have these scenes now. I need you all to partner up, and these scenes are going to be due next week. So I had a scene. It was me and my partner, and I called her up and I said, hey, when can we audition? I mean, not audition. When can we rehearse so that we can, get on this? And she told me she wasn't available. She told me she was not available to rehearse Monday through Thursday, and that she would only be available on Friday night. Wow. And now the thing is, Friday night is the last day of the week, and then there's Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday we have to perform the scene. Now I was like shocked, and she didn't seem to think that that was anything to be concerned about. Well, to me it really was. It really, really was, and it said a lot to me about the culture there and about just the kind of work ethic that I just did not want to be involved in. And I'm very. I believe that if you want to get something out of life, you got to put in the hard work and you got to go after it and get it. And it was obvious to me that many of the people there at the academy, when I was there in my class, did not share that same sentiment. So anyway, our scene suffered, and in fact, that Monday when we performed and were torn apart by our director, the director called me outside of the classroom and she said, "Pierre, you had such an incredible audition. You had such an incredible first couple of months here, and I don't know what's getting into you, but it seems as though, you are just losing all the passion that you had. And I gotta say, I don't think this is going to be the career choice for you. I think you were made for something different. So I think you need to reassess your life and make a different career choice." Whoa, whoa. She put her hand on my face and she said, "Pierre, this face does not emote. Actors need to be able to emote." Now, that was the result of, I wanted to rehearse, but so I'm the one getting the short end of the stick. Well, guess what? I decided I would go speak to the president of the school. I spoke to him. He told me, "Hey, write a letter, an official letter explaining your situation, explaining how you feel about all this, and I will determine whether or not you can be honorably discharged from our conservatory." Well, that's exactly what I did, and the president read my letter and he said, "You know what? You can be honorably discharged." And they honorably allowed me to leave the school in an honorable fashion, which is why to this day I'm still considered an alumnus of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Now, that all aside, I discovered at that point in my life, when I was in New York City, I was no longer in the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I didn't know what else I was going to do. I discovered my ability to be resourceful. I was never pushed this way until this time. I discovered, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I need to make a living. So I scoured through the classifieds, I scoured through online, through Craigslist, through jobs postings, through newspapers, and I finally stumbled upon a mortgage job. And I went and applied, and I got the job. And just a few months later, maybe about half a dozen months later, I had gotten to the position of assistant manager at that mortgage firm. Now I'll tell you that story at another time. But the point of my story today is to tell you that eventually, while I was at that mortgage job, I discovered that I had an incredible talent for motivating people, for encouraging sales, for 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 sort of leadership, and I decided, you know what? I think I want to have my own production company. And I thought a lot about it, and I thought a lot about it to the point where I finally took the big leap, and I left New York. I went back home to Maryland, and I began to put together the foundation for my very own production company, which over time would later grow and to develop into what it is today as Blue Arts. So, so, the point of what I'm saying is that, I really had to push. I really had to push and discover for myself, what really is my purpose in life. And I think I'm still discovering that right now. But, I thought that it was acting. I thought acting was the end-all, be-all for me. And I discovered that that's not the case. It's actually more than that. There's actually much more to life than just acting. But you know what? I was only able to come to that conclusion because I did not have a backup plan. I did not have a backup plan. And I want to say to those of you guys who are out there who have dreams and visions you want to accomplish in your life, and sometimes you feel like, you know what, I can't do it because I have to make a living. Well, guess what? I read this incredible statistic, and that is, most people, first of all, what is the leading cause of death in this country? Without debate, the leading cause of death, arguably, is heart disease. Now, if you were to ask somebody, hey, well, when do most people suffer their first heart attack? Somebody might tell you, well, as a result of high cholesterol in their diet, or some might say as a result of not enough diet and exercise. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you that most people suffer their first major heart attack Monday morning between 8 and 9 a.m. on their way to work, on their way to making a living. But you know what? What's unbelievable is that the living that they think they're making is killing them. It's killing them. And it can kill you too. And I think that, you know what? Don't have a backup plan. Life is too short for a backup plan. Have one plan. Don't even have a plan. Have a goal. Have one goal. And do everything you can to achieve that goal. And when you achieve it, make a new goal. And do everything you can to achieve that new goal. Because that's what life is about, okay? You know, if I had gone to a university and had a backup plan, well, guess what? I wouldn't have tried so hard to make acting work. I wouldn't have become resourceful when that didn't work out and I had to discover new talents about myself. I wouldn't have been able to go through that if I could just fall back on any old, thing that I had gotten while I was at conservatory. So I'm here to tell you, while I was in if I had gone to college. So what I'm here to tell you is don't worry about the backup plan. Don't worry about what you could do if this doesn't work out, etc., etc. Make a goal and accomplish it. That's it. It's not about making a living, it's about living your making. Doing what you know you were put on this earth to do. And if you don't know what it is you were put on this earth to do just yet, figure it out. Go figure it out. Travel the world. Go take a mission trip. Go do volunteer work. Figure out what it is that you are here to do. Okay? Anyway, that's my message for today. My name is Pierre Walters. I'm the director and senior producer of Blue Artist. And just before I close, I want to let you know what Blue Artist is. Some of you might not know. Blue Artist is an incredible producing firm filled with producers just like me who want to really help leaders and visionaries communicate their vision in a way that inspires their audiences and themselves. We believe that inspired audiences equal brand engagement, and brand engagement equals sales. So we are really here to help you increase your sales, increase your album sales, increase whatever it is, your profit margin, by motivating your audience, by first motivating you. I used to say, it's all about video, but you know what? It's not all about video. It's about vision. It's about vision building, and that's what we here at Blue Artists are very passionate about. We are passionate about helping you communicate and build your vision. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Stay tuned to Blue Artist Live because every now and again we'll have more of these Life Knocks videos. You can also check us out on our vlogs and our regular posts and updates and our podcast and our newsletter. Just staying tuned with what we're up to. We love you guys, and we want to be able to have an ongoing conversation with you guys. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.